What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Anthony Joshua. Deontay Wilder, get this. Anthony Joshua announces that he is willing to fight Deontay Wilder next year in a huge fight before taking on Tyson Fury. Anthony Joshua has confirmed that he is willing to fight Deontay Wilder next year. The Brit, 31 years old, is to take on Alexander Usyk once again, as we know, in the spring, after invoking his rematch clause with the Ukrainian. AJ last month lost all of his belts, of course, to Alexander Usyk, but he is already looking beyond Usyk at other potential matchups. Asked what his future holds by IFL TV, he said, "If the fans can't see, I would take these fights with the fighters like Wilder in a heartbeat, and I want people to know that I would fight anyone in their prime anytime. Give me a mandatory and I will fight anyone. I love the game and I will fight anyone. I will take on any challenge, providing politics aren't an issue and the finances are there, but these guys, people know what I'm about." I think Wilder fought Tyson Fury thinking it was going to be an easier fight than the previous, and he got caught up in a trilogy web. But would I fight Wilder? Yes, I would. Of course, when asked what would motivate the Bronze Bomber, Wilder's co-promoter, Shelly Finkel, said that he would be interested in an AJ Showdown as well. Let me counterpunch. I know this fight is the fight that it looks like a good idea. It looks like something to foresee in the future. I get it. But at the end of the day, he still has to fight Alexander Usyk, okay? And I think Anthony Joshua's problem has, people say it's mental, but it is mental. It's a focus problem. I think what Anthony Joshua's problem is, he gets caught up in what he could possibly do as his career goes, as he looks at everything too far ahead. And I know that's ambitious and whatnot, and I get it, and I know people think that the narrative was he was afraid of Deontay Wilder, afraid to fight him, even though he was offering him millions of dollars to fight. I get it, but at the end of the day, I think he should adopt the mentality of Floyd Money Mayweather. And Floyd's mentality was this: don't talk to me about any other fighter except the fighter that I'm facing. And he's facing Alexander Usyk. Alexander Usyk outboxed Anthony Joshua 9 rounds to 3 or 10 rounds to 2. Okay? Even though he lost on every scorecard in his backyard. That's what he should be worried about, most importantly. Not Deontay Wilder in the future. Yes, it sounds great. Yes, it's an exciting fight because you got two guys that like to bang it out. But that fight for Anthony Joshua is not the fight he should be focusing on. In fact, not really be even talking about at that time. Because he has a guy that's quick, fast, smaller, and more skilled, and he has to dispatch him before talking about any other fights. Because the question you ask yourself is this, right? What do you do if you lose this fight? I think that's a better conversation to really be talking about, if he fights Deontay Wilder or not, because that's more of a realistic conversation. Because, yeah, you're saying that you will fight Wilder if you win, okay? But what if you lose, okay? Does that change? I think those type of things should be asked when Anthony Joshua says, hey, I'm willing to take on Deontay Wilder. See, Deontay Wilder was involved in one of the best fights, if not the best fight. I think it's the best fight of this year so far. I mean, but the year's not over yet. But in the heavyweight, it was the most exciting. It gave multiple knockdowns. It gave you oohs. It gave you ahs. It gave you basically everything, right? So I know that Joshua would want to get in there and square it up like he's always wanted to do. However, his job, his task ahead of him is a difficult one, and his name is Alexander Usyk. So would I like to see it? Of course. Is it exciting that Anthony Joshua was mentioning Deontay Wilder to fight in a showdown next year? Of course it is. But what's the reality? The reality is he still has to beat Alexander Usyk. Anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Anthony Joshua's comments towards fighting Deontay Wilder next year. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.